How to stay motivated when you don't see results. Mindset, consistency, and overcoming plateaus. Let me start with something uncomfortable but honest. Most people quit right before the results show up. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't want it bad enough, but because effort without visible progress messes with your head. You start thinking, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I'm just not built for this. Other people are getting results faster than me. What's wrong with me? And that moment, right there, is where motivation dies. Today I want to talk about how to stay motivated when nothing seems to be happening, when the scale doesn't move, when the business isn't growing, when the gym progress stalls, when you're showing up every day and it feels like you're getting nowhere. This isn't hype. This is about mindset, consistency, and surviving plateaus without quitting on yourself. The brutal truth about results. Here's the truth nobody likes to hear. Results are delayed. Effort is immediate. You put in the work today, but the payoff comes weeks, months, sometimes years later. And our brains hate that. We're wired for instant feedback. Post a photo, likes, send a text, reply, eat junk food, dopamine. But real progress doesn't work like that. I remember working toward a goal that actually mattered to me. I was doing everything right, showing up every day, learning, sacrificing, saying no to distractions. And for months, nothing changed. No validation, no external proof, just effort. That's when most people assume they're failing. But here's the reframe. A lack of visible results does not mean a lack of progress. Most progress happens underground first. Think about bamboo. It spends years growing roots before you ever see it break the surface. When it finally does, it grows fast. But the work was happening the entire time. If you quit during the invisible phase, you never reach the visible one. Why motivation can't be your foundation. Let's talk about motivation. Motivation feels great. It feels powerful. It feels like momentum. But motivation is unreliable. What happens when you're tired, when you're bored, when you're discouraged, when the excitement wears off? You stop. High performers don't rely on motivation. They rely on identity and systems. Instead of saying, I'm trying to work out, they say, I'm someone who doesn't miss workouts. Instead of saying, I'm motivated to build this, they say, this is just what I do. One mindset shift that changed everything for me was this. Stop asking, do I feel like doing this? Start asking, what would the disciplined version of me do today? Motivation follows action. Action does not follow motivation. Most days, I don't feel like starting. But once I start, momentum shows up. Consistency beats intensity, especially during plateaus. When results slow down, people usually make one of two mistakes. They quit, or they go extreme. They double the effort. They burn themselves out. They try to force progress. But plateaus aren't a signal to panic. They're a signal to stay steady. Here's something I learned the hard way. Consistency is boring, but it's undefeated. During one plateau, I honestly felt like nothing I was doing mattered. So instead of doing more, I simplified everything. I focused on showing up, doing the basics well, not breaking the streak, no hero days, no 0 days. And eventually, without some dramatic breakthrough, things moved again. Progress rarely announces itself. It whispers. Mindset. Hacks to stay in the game. Here are some practical mindset tools that actually help when motivation is low. First, track inputs, not outcomes. Outcomes are slow. Inputs are controllable. Instead of asking, did I get results today? Ask, did I show up? Did I practice? Did I keep my promise to myself? Winning the day is doing the work. Results catch up later. Second, zoom out your timeline. Most people expect 6-month results in 6 weeks. That expectation kills motivation. Ask yourself, if this took 2 years, would it still be worth it? If the answer is yes, keep going. Third, detach your self-worth from progress. You are not your numbers. You are not your metrics. You are not behind in life. Plateaus don't mean you're failing. They mean you're human. Fourth, borrow belief when yours is low. There were times I didn't believe in myself at all, so I borrowed belief from past versions of me that didn't quit, people who had done it before. The simple fact that quitting would guarantee failure. Sometimes belief isn't confidence, sometimes it's just stubbornness, reframing plateaus as proof. Here's a reframe that changed everything for me. Plateaus are proof you're no longer a beginner. Beginners see fast progress. Intermediates grind. Experts refine. If it feels harder now, that means you've leveled up. Every plateau asks the same question. Are you committed, or were you just curious? Anyone can stay consistent when results are exciting. Commitment shows up when it's boring, quiet, and slow. That's where real self-respect is built. The quiet payoff. One day, if you don't quit, you'll look back at this phase and realize this is where everything was decided. Not the breakthrough moment, not the win, not the applause, but the ordinary days, the unnoticed effort, the choice to keep going without proof. So if you're in that place right now, if you're tired, discouraged, or questioning yourself, you don't need to feel motivated. You don't need to see results today. You just need to not quit. Show up, do the work, trust the process longer than feels comfortable. Consistency has a way of introducing you to a future version of yourself you'll be grateful you didn't give up on. And that version of you is closer than you think. Before you go, I want you to hear this clearly. If you're in a season where you're doing everything right and nothing seems to be happening, you are not broken, you're not behind, you're not failing. You're in the part of the journey most people never push through. This phase doesn't look impressive, it doesn't feel rewarding, and it definitely doesn't get applause. But it's building something in you that success can't teach: discipline, patience, and self-trust. So when motivation disappears, don't panic. When progress feels slow, don't spiral. And when you start doubting yourself, remember this: quitting doesn't make the path easier. It just guarantees you'll never reach the version of yourself you started for. Keep showing up, keep stacking small wins, keep choosing consistency over comfort. And if no one has told you lately, I'm proud of you for not giving up. Stay focused, stay patient, stay in the game. I'll see you on the other side.